getting awfully close now, awfully close to getting this guy to the dyno, which is something I've been looking forward to for quite some time, yeah? I have three things holding me back before I can actually take it out, put it in the trailer and drive off to the dyno. First one is the brakes. I'll show you in a second why. The second one is the frunk, which just looks like an absolute mess, and I don't want to take it out of the car or take it out of the garage looking like that. The third one is a little bit surprising and has cost me a lot of time and money, is the ignition. Not sure I will be able to wiggle that one out, but we will see. We will see. So without further ado, let's get to it. Okay, so brakes, here we go. I have the world's most Frankensteinish build of components of my car that you will find on any 964. And that is a mix of a 993, a 964, a 991 Cup, a 997 RSR. So I took all of those and just randomly mixed them together and I came up with this. I also found these brakes that are from a 991 Cup. They're really cool PFC monoblock. They're really light, and yeah, I selected those because I found a second-hand piece of the front ones, and it seemed like a good idea at the time. So I've designed some adapters for this so that they can fit here. So as I said, this is very much a Frankenstein setup. This is the RSR hubs from a 997 RSR. Really cool. This combination is from a 991 Cup. And then the uprights are from a 993. So we'll get a wheel on here. And I love these wheels. They're so incredibly light. And the center lock system is a piece of beauty. It's on, but look at this. So it's up there and the whole thing is flexing on the plastic 3D printed adapter right now. So in practice, there's quite a bit of space missing here, like 5-7 millimeters, something at least. So what are then the options? So I took one of the just centers and put on there. It's easier to see if I do that. Back in my studio, I wanted to show you a little bit in a better way how this interference situation actually looks, because of course I can cling around the wheel with my camera, but this is where the real magic happens. So if we have a look at this, we see that my collection of parts on this 964 is growing by the minute. This is the front wheel assembly. We see this caliper. I picked another more appealing color here. We can actually even see that the caliper is not even centered here. So what I'm showing you here is actually better than what it's supposed to be. And what we do see here is, of course, this interference here. This is a few millimeters, this interference. I can fix some of it by, you know, gutting components and moving stuff out and so on. But this is really too much to manage. So let's see what other options we have. Now, because I have those really cool calipers in the front that don't fit, I went and bought these to match those. So yeah, let's see how that works. Really, to go to the dyno, I just need rear brakes. Yeah, I'm gonna need a little adapter in there. And I have a model of this since before, so I'm just gonna go up and do one of those, put it in, and we see if it fits. As it happens, I already had a model of all of this in my CAD, so it was quite simple to just do this thing. So here goes. So it looks really good. But this is one of these cooking shows that I've already done this before, and I know that it doesn't work. It's exactly the same problem as in the front. It's just that here it is much worse. So I haven't even tightened the wheel and it's hit there. Yeah, so this is awkward. So I have really invested myself to a point where nothing works at all, and I can't get any part of this set up to work. So what do I do then? So here is my original drums. I have sent this off to my buddy to machine the holes here so they fit the center lock lugs here. And to my great pleasure, it does not fit. Again, I do only things in this YouTube thing that does not fit. And the reason it does not fit is that these RSR hubs, these ones, they have a much shorter offset than what the other hubs had. There's just no simple way of just plugging the old system back without just ripping the whole center lock, getting new wheels, which is something I'm absolutely not going to do. So I'm kind of just coming with bad options here, and that's not helpful for anyone. And I have not found any other obvious way of fixing this. So what I will do is I will simply bite the bullet and buy new calipers. This time I'm going to do something different than the first time. I'm going to measure what I need before I buy them, because it's too expensive doing it this method. So yeah, let's have a look at that. So having concluded that there is really not that much I can do with these calipers, I've taken them off and decided I'm going to get new ones. But I want to do it right this time. And do right means measure before I purchase. So I have this little guy here, my little 3D scanner that I recently invested in. It's a Creality Ferret Light, I think it's called. Very inexpensive, very good actually. So I'm going to take this off. And I have my little app here. So I'm going to start this. I'm going to show you how this works, because it is pretty cool. Here we go. So once you get going with this, you sort of just paint your way. And you see, as you do that, you start getting the geometry. And it's quite fast. This looks pretty decent. The key thing for me here is to get the mounting points where the caliper adapter is going to sit. So I have this. I'm going to go up and do a little design integration of this, and then we should get the calipers one-to-one on the first go. So back up with my buddy here, my little laptop. I have now found a set of calipers from AP Racing. They're called Pro 5000R. They have really good drawings, AP Racing, so I managed to sketch it all up and see that that was okay, to the extent that I bought a set, got them in, 3D scanned them, put them into the model. So I'll show you how it looks in the front first. So look at this. This model is heavy, so it's a little bit on the limit on my laptop here. but this is sort of the collection of all of the things I have gathered over these years on the car, because everything I design turns into something that I save. So this is the front. You can see it's really good on space. Let us turn around and go to the other side, and this model is complaining a bit, so it has to go a little bit slow. But here we go. Sorry for shaking a bit around here. So here we are, pretty good on space, extremely good on space, I would say. So I of course have done up the adapters in here. The observant one will see a few things in here that you haven't seen anywhere else in the videos yet, and that's because my mind is running wild whenever I sit here and I design a few things here and there. But this is where we are. For now, let's get all of the work with the calipers done so that we can get this guy to the dyno. Back in the garage, we have this now. So simple enough. It's going to be made of aluminum, 71 on the 7000 series, so it's high on strength. So let's put it in. Now this should actually fit to the new caliper. So what did I actually get? Now this should fit to this, the new AP Racing calipers. If we now compare these with the old ones, it is, yeah, a huge difference, obviously. Okay, good. The funny thing is that since I've now done up this perfectly beforehand, it is actually in the middle. Looking at it, I could move it in just 0.5 millimeter there to get the pads to cover properly. But I think all in all, this is it. Let's get the wheel on. And the problem we had before, it is no longer there. Look at this. So I'm pretty happy with this. It looks like I only made these adapters once. The reality is it took a few attempts. And the secret is that all of these attempts was me being stubborn, not 3D scanning it. Then I went and I scanned it, and then I did it in one, and it was perfect. So yeah, sometimes you do it in a way that is maybe not so smart, but this is smart, it fits. Let's have a look at the front. In the front, we go from this to this. So when you look at these two together, we end up with the same weight of the calipers, but we end up with approximately this big difference in width. So something is very different, that's for sure. See if we can get them to grab. Oh, we seem to be in the middle here as well. What do you think of that? Let's get the wheel on. So that problem is officially in the past. We have managed to get a good solution to it, which means we need to figure out the rest of the brake system and what's left of this before we can push the pedal and actually get some action. Now starts the delicate art of adapting these calipers to this body, which means making some new brake hoses or brake lines. I'm doing hard lines out by the wheels, hard lines under the car, then a flexible line just in the transition. They're just like the 964 looks originally. But there are some variations. So I'm going to do up this, and I'm going to show you what the difference is under when you have this kind of ABS system that I have on mine, since it's It's not the usual ABS system in this one. Yeah. Okay, always try to remember how this is done. If you want to look at someone that does this to a very fantastic degree, you should look at the episode when I'm integrating the race ABS I have together with the rest of the car. And it's a lot of bending brake lines. Let's see if this one works. That's going to be for the front caliper. Let's have a look. Body, here we have a flex hose. It comes over here. I followed the concept that the original hard lines has that goes over, and that's because there used to be a shaft here. We also have the drop link here, which by the way, someone can probably tell me if this is the right one, considering that I have the 993 uprights up here. It feels very wrong the way that it looks. But nevertheless, I need to fabricate these hard lines for all of these so that I can hook it up to the car. The next challenge is here, down under. And that challenge is that we now have 4 channels coming out from the ABS, which means, of course, one going to this wheel, the other one going up here, where we just looked at the hard line. The other 2, they follow down in the tunnel and go to 1 wheel each. And here we have a little bit of a challenge. 4 channels coming in, used to be 3 channels. The original setup of the 964 brings 1 channel to the back from the ABS, and then that channel is split left and right. So I need to get 2 hard lines from the front all the way down here in the tunnel and then split off to the 2 wheels. And that's not a problem in itself. The problem with it is perhaps that I probably need to take the engine out to do this. And this is not what I'm going to do today. So I think for now, we put on the list that I will need to take the engine out before I go dyno anyway to fix a few little mini things there. I'll just put that hard line up there and connect the 2 wheels. Looking down here, I think we have established that pressure from the ABS out to the wheel, we got that settled. However, we need to get fluid into the brake cylinders as well, and that's this guy here. I have taken the C2 canister here. So this was a C4 to start out, but I've taken the C2 and I have tried to source a hose that can stand for this, or that has this dimensions and can stand for brake fluid, because it's not a very nice fluid, brake fluid. What I found is this. This is a hose that is supposed to take brake fluid. So if I take this one in here and I tighten, I get that. So this is going to be the next challenge that I need to resolve here, because this, I don't know if it's these being old so they've lost their flexibility or what it is, but if I take this and tighten it just hand tight, I can turn it still, which is not a good indication. If I tighten it a little bit more, I can feel that, I can still tighten it, and I can feel that this guy is getting damaged. So this is not going to work. I could source a different hose here. I could wing it, which I don't want to do. I could put the reservoirs down by the pedal box, which is fine, but when you have the reservoirs down on the master cylinders, then you're inevitably going to be spraying brake fluid all over the place whenever you need to top up. That's not very cool, because you need to do that occasionally. Here's another completely different option. I bought this. This is Tilton. They have a nice little one of these. So you have 3 separate containers. Very proper. Let's see if we can make this fit up front. It sits here originally, which is a place I don't want it in. I actually want it just here. This would be perfect. But sitting there competing with the the very hot hoses for the oil cooler is maybe not the coolest of places. I could stick it in there, make a nice little mount so that it attaches to this bar here. Then I get a little bit of distance to that one. Then I can just make a passage where they come down this way and go down to the pedals. That will look very good. In here has the same challenge as having the pedal box in there, and that it's going to be super messy. I need to put some thought into this because I'm sure I will come up with a solution to this. I don't know what it is right now though, so give me a minute. Here, doing some thinking how I'm going to get this reservoir fixed, because I don't believe in the original one, and the big one I had from Tilton there, it's just too big, so I won't get it in there. So I took the easy way out. I went into Tilton's webpage, and this is what I found. This is the one I have, right? Good. They do also have another one that looks like this. And it is much smaller, it is, and not only is it much smaller, it also comes with some quite detailed 3D models of it. And I love companies that does this. I understand why people don't do this, because you can just take it and copy it and do something with it. But it is so convenient when you're building a car in the digital way that I'm building my car, to just go in and find that engineering documentation so that I can plug it into here. Back in this, I did position the new one just where I was imagining that the big one was gonna go. And my 3D scan is not so good in this area. But you see, this is the level of 3D model that Tilton gives away to their customers for free. So it looks pretty good in that area. I think I will be able to fill it, and sorry for shaking a little bit the model here. And since I'm in my studio, which is in the same room where my computer is, I can just pop this thing out like this, and with this one out, I made it in 2 pieces because it's much quicker. So with this piece out, I can just put it together and put it into the car straight away. It looks like this little guy. So quite neat. I will go down to the garage and try to position this one. This is what we ended up with. I'm reusing the mounting points for the windscreen wiper there. And it sits behind the hose that goes out to the cooler. It has some distance there, and the hoses are rubber, so it should be okay. As you can see, I also color matched it with the only thing in this car that does have the original paint on it, the hinge there. Let's see if that remains the way it is. So this is all good. Let's get the hoses sorted. I think this reservoir is the right reservoir for this build, and I think that location is really good. So now, rather than just cutting hoses, trying to see how I figured it out, I did scan that particular area to get a little bit more detail, and I'm doing the routing of the hoses and the selection of the angles of the hose pieces in here. So I'll show you what I came up with. It looks like this. We have it up there, as we said. And what I did do was I made a little model just of this piece, because it's much easier to work with. So I have a little bracket here in the back that just holds it, something simple, and then I try to pick the right angle of the outcoming connectors there. So they will go down for that hole. And then on this side, I wanted to get something that is service friendly, so whenever I need to get into something in this area, I don't have the hoses in the way. So they will come down on this wall, and they will go down like this. And the benefit of doing it like this, to route it 100% here, is I get lengths. I also get to play with the different coupling angles. So now I've tried with 90 degrees, 60 degrees, 45 degrees, 30 degrees, and I have a mix of these couplings, and I know exactly the length they're supposed to be and the coupling. So I'll just take this, go down, fabricate them, and just install it. It takes a lot of time up here, but I've also tried maybe 10, 15 different ways of doing it here. I also designed these little brackets here to keep it neat and tidy. They're very tiny in the end. I was surprised when I got them out, but this is just reservoir hoses, so they're very small. So I can put 3 of them in there. I can put 3 of them in there. It also has two mounting holes if I wanted to strap it against one of the bulkheads. Let's get it assembled, and we see if this is the final piece of this. Got the length of the hoses sorted quite easily. As you can see, they're a little bit different. This is an AN4 PTFE kind of tubing. If you look closely, you can see also that the hoses are different for each. The angle of them are different. And that was to sort of get that curvature nice on it. So I'm gonna wiggle this in there and we see if we like this. Let's stick them in this way and see what we get. The longest one first. I did make threads on this plastic one here, so I should be able to attach it up here so that it sits. Then it's the second longest one. Short guy. And then I'm gonna take the fight to this side. Not so easy, but I think I can make it. Here I have real coupling, so here it's quite easy to just get it set up. Okay, this is what we get. It comes down like this. We have the little clamp sitting there and the lower one there. The top one was made with the intention to bolt it to the car body there. Just make a little rivet there, and or a threaded rivet. And the bottom one is to make sure that it doesn't nudge against that or rub against that piece there. When we get in here, you see that we get this. So I would say it looks very similar to how we had it in the model. And I'm sorry, this place is extremely difficult to film in. So you'll have to bear with me. There's a hole up here, as you can see. I will cover this hole with a piece and lead those hoses through it in some nice manner. That is just about as far as we're gonna get today. We have gotten the calipers onto the car, waiting for the actual adapters to be machined, but that will get handled probably this coming week. We finished all the hard lines under the car. I did say that I was gonna wait until the engine and gearbox comes out the next time. I couldn't wait, so I've just done it all now. I did realize that I could not use the concept I was thinking with hard line just next to the wheel and then soft line just after that. I had to change to hose all the way from the caliper into where it connects to the body. And the reason for that is that these calipers are made for a face seal. So this thing with just taking a hard line into the caliper, that didn't work. So I just went ahead and ordered those, and it's already into the car, all of it's done. Got the reservoir done as well. I did not foresee that it was going to end up in that location of the car, but I think this is just about as good as it could ever get. And I think it looks great. I also love how far I got with the 3D scanning. Now I use it for everything. If I'm just going to do something quick, I will just scan it, make sure I have that as a reference, design straight into it, make everything completely done. Lengths, angles, everything completely done so that I have it in the 3D model. And then I just go down, cut the hoses, build it, do it with the wire harness, whatever it is, just finish it all off. So with this one done, the only 2 things missing before it's dyno time is the frunk. All the cables, all mess. I will get that done probably the coming weeks here because I'm a little bit on a tempo now. And the last thing is the ignition. It's acting up, something is wrong with it. I need to figure out what it is. And with those 2 things done, it is dyno time. Thank you for watching. See you next time.